What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I want to talk to you guys about a potential update on one of the most anticipated Nintendo Switch games ever since it was announced last year at E3, and of course I'm talking about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, or Breath of the Wild 2. Now it's crazy to think that it's been over a year since this game was first revealed at E3 2019 and that we still haven't gotten any official updates or information about it or how the game is coming along. Now we have heard a bit of potential rumors or leaks about what the game could be like and what the gameplay could be like as well, and I actually made a video about that in the past, so if you guys haven't seen that video, there should be a little eye up in the corner right now. You could definitely go ahead and click on that or tap on that if you want to go and learn about what Breath of the Wild 2 might potentially be like, but I'll also put that video in the outro if you guys want to go and watch it after you're done watching this video. But yeah, it just seems like a lot of stuff about Zelda has been coming out recently. My last video that I made was about a potential remaster of Skyward Sword potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch, as that was listed by Amazon UK. And now today what I want to talk to you guys about is that there was actually a listing that was found for a collector's edition for the Breath of the Wild sequel, or Breath of the Wild 2. Now I'll put it up on screen for you guys so you guys can see right here. And so yeah, this is a listing that somebody was able to discover on a website, and it's a listing for a collector's edition of Breath of the Wild 2. And the thing here is that if we take a look at this website, it's actually called the WT&T website. I'm pretty sure that's like the name of the retailer, and this is a French website that this was all discovered on. And so this website put up a listing for the collector's edition of Breath of the Wild 2, and of course somebody was able to screenshot it and everybody started sharing the image real quick. The listing has been taken down obviously now because I'm sure they didn't want people to notice this, but it was there at some point and now we do have screenshots of what it looked like. Now of course the first thing is that having a collector's edition for Breath of the Wild 2 definitely makes a ton of sense. We all know how big of a franchise Zelda is for Nintendo, and the original Breath of the Wild also did have a collector's edition that launched as well, so I think it would obviously just make a ton of sense, especially for all the Zelda enthusiasts and Zelda collectors who actually want to get everything. It would just make a ton of sense to have a special Breath of the Wild 2 collector's edition, so I can definitely see that happening, and since the original even had one, there's really no way why they wouldn't have one for Breath of the Wild 2. Now the price that was listed for this collector's edition on the website was 82.85 euros. And so doing a rough conversion to what this equates to in US dollars, it's approximately $100, so we can assume that if this collector's edition is also going to be in the US, that it would probably be $99.99. So the one thing about this collector's edition that I'm sure some of you guys are wondering is, why are we trusting this website? Why do we think that this collector's edition is even going to happen? What's so special about this website? Because of course there's been many times in the past where obscure websites have listed random things that are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch and they never actually came. So why is this website any different? Like, this could just be something that could never happen. Though I think that having a collector's edition for Breath of the Wild 2 obviously makes a ton of sense. We kind of already talked about why it would make no sense to not have one. So I definitely do think that it's going to happen, and this is something for like a title that's already been confirmed. Like, we know that this game is coming. It's not like those other websites that list like a brand new game that we have never heard about, like a Metroid Prime trilogy or something like that. But yeah, I definitely do think that this thing is going to happen. But the reason that we're trusting this website a lot is because, if you guys didn't know, this is the exact same website that actually listed The Witcher 3 for the Nintendo Switch before it was officially announced. And I'm pretty sure that Witcher 3 was actually announced for the Nintendo Switch last year during E3, right when Breath of the Wild 2 was announced as well, but I do remember last year there was a listing that was popped up for Witcher 3 on the Nintendo Switch, and it came from this website. If I can find that listing, I'll put it up on screen for you guys so you guys can see the image. It looks pretty much exactly like how the collector's edition of Breath of the Wild 2 looks. And I mean, at that point, everybody was like, could Witcher 3 really come to the Switch? Is it fake? Is it not going to happen? And then of course at E3, Nintendo did reveal that Witcher 3 is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch, and the listing ended up being true. So maybe it is possible that this website does have some inside information about collector's editions and future upcoming titles and things like that for the Nintendo Switch, so they were just putting up the listings and things like that on their website, but I guess this accidentally was made public before people were supposed to know about it, and that's why people were able to find out. So the next thing that this really makes you think about is, when exactly is Breath of the Wild 2 gonna come out? Because the thing with collector's editions is usually they're announced when the game is about to release, so that people know that you can get the standard edition, which just comes with the game, but you can also get a collector's edition if you're like a big fan of that franchise, and you can get some more goodies. And so if Breath of the Wild 2 already has a collector's edition that's kind of ready, then it might mean that maybe this game is actually close to releasing really soon, and that it might be much further along in development than people actually think. And that's definitely one thing with this game, is that there's so many different people who have different theories and speculation about how far along development Breath of the Wild 2 is actually in. There's some people that were saying that the game was ready to release this year, but because of the virus, it's probably not going to happen now. Some people are saying that this game probably just started development and it's probably still like 2 or 3 more years away. So there's definitely a lot of discussion for when exactly the game could release. Now, if you guys want my thoughts real quick, I actually think that Breath of the Wild 2 is much further along in development than people think, and it might have even been planned to release this year because the legendary leaker for Nintendo, who's pretty much always been correct, King Zell, said that if you loved Breath of the Wild, you were gonna love 2020, and of course he was hinting at the fact that Breath of the Wild was gonna be getting a sequel, and the fact that he said 2020 makes me think that maybe Nintendo was actually planning to have this game come out this year, but because of the virus and everything getting messed up now, it's probably not gonna be the case. And on the website, the release date that was listed for this was December 31st of this year, but I really don't think that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out in 2020. It just doesn't make a lot of sense now. There's only a couple of months left in the year, and to have such a huge release like this, not have any more new information, they really just don't have time to hype up this game and have it be a huge release for 2020. So I just don't think that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year, but it could very well be like an early 2021 title, kind of like what they did with Breath of the Wild when it came out in March in 2017, and next year is also going to be Zelda's 35th anniversary, so I think it would just make a lot of sense. And I'm also very excited to see what this collector's edition for Breath of the Wild 2 could actually have, because the one that came out with Breath of the Wild was actually really cool. If you guys remember the Master Edition, it came with a Master Sword statue, there was a Nintendo Switch Sheikah Slate kind of case that was made for your Nintendo Switch, it came with the game, it came with a really cool map of Hyrule, there was even like a soundtrack CD, a special coin, so it came with a lot of really cool stuff. So I really wonder if the Breath of the Wild 2 special edition is actually going to top this and there's going to be even more cool things. Maybe they could put in some amiibos or something, but I'm very excited to see what it could actually have. And really the last thing that I feel like is worth mentioning is that maybe because this collector's edition is now popping up, maybe it could mean that we are going to get some information about Breath of the Wild 2 very soon. I know some people are saying that maybe we're going to be getting a Nintendo Direct very soon because we did have that indie showcase. Maybe we're actually going to be getting one next month because I know that's what's kind of been rumored from King Zell, but who knows what's going to happen. Maybe Nintendo's just going to shadow drop some more information about Breath of the Wild 2 and then announce this collector's edition. So who knows, maybe some new information for this game could actually be coming very soon. And so there you go guys, that is all the information that we have right now about a supposed collector's edition for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Do you guys think that this collector's edition is real? Do you think that it could mean that we're going to be getting some news very soon? Would you be interested in getting this collector's edition? Are you guys like a really big Zelda fan and would you actually buy it? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Zelda content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.